of the big changes in the world, which will change the world, will be technology. It will completely transform our lives. Already, it's a huge part of how we live, work, and play. We don't always realize it, but it is. If I ask who in this room does not own a handphone, please put your hand up. You know what I mean. But think 20 years ago, how it was in 1992. Not a lifetime ago, just 20 years. It wasn't like that. People used coin phones, card phones. When recruits were called up in camp, confinement, queue up to phone home, like that. Today, when you're called up, or when your sons are called up, BMTC Pulau Tekong, the first night, the instructors tell them, please use your handphone, call home. Call your mother first, then call your girlfriend. In 1992, the internet had not yet really come to Singapore. And nowhere in the world did anybody imagine Facebook or YouTube or how these gizmos and newfangled things would impact societies, impact our lives. And today, Singapore is one of the most wired countries in the world. So just think back those 20 years and ask yourself how you can imagine what 20 years from now will be like. Not just the technology, but what the technology has done to our lives. I just give you a few examples of things which we can see now, which I think will be big in the next 20 years. A lot of it to do with IT, with computers, with robots. The first one is this mysterious thing. This unidentified flying object was seen at a passing out parade on the floating platform recently. Recruit passing out parade. It circulated buzz on the internet. People ask, is this a secret spy project belonging to MINDEF? So I asked MINDEF, is this a secret spy project? MINDEF told me, after investigating the matter carefully, they said, no, it has nothing to do with me. This is a UAV, an unmanned aerial vehicle. No pilot, but it flies, it's smart. And whom does it belong to? Jack Neo filming his latest movie, Our Boys to Men. It's just one of many uses which UAVs will have in the future. The military use them, reconnaissance, targeting, communications. Civilians use them. You can use them for crowd control. You can use them for civil defense purposes. You can use them to manage crops, to keep track of what's happening on broad areas. So many countries are interested in this. The US Defense Research Agency, DARPA, ran a competition recently on the internet for people to design UAVs. Crowdsourcing. There was an NTU team which participated in this competition. It was called UAVforge.net. And the NTU team submitted a UAV, participated in this, and that entry was called Extractor X. There were 140 teams which competed in this competition from all over the world. Extractor X from Singapore got into the final 10 and eventually ranked 6th out of this 140. And I should tell you that amongst the people whom they came ahead of, one was the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and the other one was the Japanese Ministry of Defense. So I think that we did well. One day, when you fly SIA, you may fly UAV. It will take some time, but it is technically possible. What I'm not so sure is possible is that you can have something replace a Singapore girl. And that, I think the human touch will be there for some time to come. But UAVs are an example of robots, technology, computers, artificial intelligence, which is going to be pervasive. In healthcare too, we are going to see changes. A-Star is doing research on brain waves. Reading brain waves using your brain just by thinking you control a robot. And here, this person is using his brain. You see all the electrodes attached to his head. He's controlling the computer. The computer is controlling this machine, this arm, which is moving his left arm. So if you can imagine, if he is a stroke victim, this is something which can help him exercise, regain his strength, or move for him. Become like a bionic person. How will these technological advances affect us? It's not just a gee whiz factor, cute to talk about, but it's going to cause the whole economy to change, entire industries to alter. Retailers are under pressure from online shops, whether you're selling books, Amazon, whether you're selling videos. It's not even video delivered by mail, but video comes down your broadband. Even groceries, you can order, it'll be delivered. No need for the shop, no need for the expensive rental space. Some jobs will disappear. Others will have to be redesigned. Workers will have to be retrained. Learn to use technology, how to raise productivity. You may be cleaning, but you can't just be sweeping the floor. You have to use a machine to do it better. You may be a personal secretary, but your phone with Siri in a few years will be as smart as a personal secretary. The personal secretary will have to become office manager to do other things which a phone can't do. Our social norms will change. How we communicate with one another, how we interact with one another. It's going to transform Singapore in many ways which we can't tell. This year, National Day, we were, or many of us were, at a floating platform on the bay. Some of us were overseas. There was one group in Melbourne. They gathered, they watched it live streaming on the internet. Some of those kids' parents were at the bay. So we were having a remote joint celebration. They SMS one another, you're watching the show here, they're watching the show there, you're enjoying it, separated by 5,000 miles. It's a different world.